12 minutes to go in normal time. Liverpool 3-0. Corner taken quickly, Origi! Yeah! Yeah!
Hello and welcome to the Redscast, the football podcast by Liverpool fans for Liverpool fans. It is me, Matty, and as always, I am joined by Ste. How are we doing?
Afternoon, Matty. Yeah, doing all right. After another weird game, wasn't it?
Proper weird, like proper weird. I've just got the stats up then, and it just brought me back to that game. I mean, I didn't want to do a podcast straight after because I couldn't process what I'd just seen, really, like, because the referee was absolutely abysmal, wasn't he?
Yeah, and there's a few videos going around of Trent and Robbo especially taking him to task at the end, like, and it was in fact I've lost count of how many things didn't go our way. Don't get me wrong, that's not the main reason we never won the game. We had our chances. I think we could have been 3 up at half time. No one would have batted an eyelid about that. That would have been probably a fair showing of how the game went. So we did have our chances, but the referee did not help at all.
Yeah, it was absolutely like abysmal, really abysmal refereeing. There was a foul on Robbo, and Trent, where Trent saying it was echoed round the ground. And then I'll pull it up on the screen now. I don't know if you've seen the picture of the offside that was given to us before the build up to their goal.
Well, it was given against us, wasn't it? They got the free kick, but then they went off for the drinks break, and they were clearly onside. And don't get me wrong, he's given that, and we've got to then defend it. So it's our own fault for not defending it. But it's another one of them where we shouldn't have had to deal with that because it was quite clear.
It was definitely clear. I mean, it was. If that weren't offside, we probably would have scored as well.
I know.
Which is crazy. I mean, the stats, we had 70% of the possession, we had 23 shots, 86% pass succession, we won 16 aerial duels. But one that I was really shocked is we were dispossessed 9 times. You never see that.
No, that does seem quite high. And I don't remember us being particularly wasteful in possession either. So that's that shows that we were. But once is it 9 times or once every 10? Actually, once every 10 minutes away, giving the ball away, probably not that bad. I mean, I think the main statistic, if you want to look into it, is saves, because their goalkeeper was out of this world.
Nick Pope, look at that, 23 shots. It just shows, like, I was shocked, to be honest, before the game when I seen where Burnley was in the league, because they've never really, I know a few seasons ago they finished 7th, but you never really see them finish that high up, do you?
No, you just see them as sort of lower mid-table team, don't you?
Yeah, and the pure reason that they're where they are in this league is because of Nick Pope.
Oh, absolutely. He should be England's number 1. Like, maybe Henderson might push him, but I think Pope is the best English keeper about. And
it's bizarre that Jordan Pickford gets a game over him, innit? Because I couldn't believe how good he was. He was world class. For me, man of the match against Burnley was Nick Pope.
Yeah.
I mean, if I just look at his stats, 8 is just unbelievable. He's 28 though. He looks about 12.
It doesn't matter. He's older. You know what? That's not for a keeper. That's not that old, really. He's got a good few years left in him, and he needs now. At 28, he should be really like pushing for that England number 1 spot, and he's doing everything he can on the pitch. Whatever the England manager is looking at is obviously not the same as what the rest of us are looking at, because he should be miles ahead of Pickford.
Miles. Absolutely miles. What do you think of Jones?
I thought, again, he didn't do himself any harm at all, did he?
No. He was good on the ball. His movement was slick. It was what you want to see in a midfielder, really. And he had 3 shots. He had 89% pass succession, which is just crazy numbers for a 19-year-old on his first start in the Premier League. Completed two out of 2 successful dribbles. He was dispossessed 3 times, but that's
going to happen. What I was really impressed by, his showing for the ball. He was constantly coming back and dropping in, and he just looked as if he'd been doing it, as if he wasn't a kid. The way Henderson will drop back in and look for the ball, and he was just there all the time. And yeah, he got dispossessed a couple of times, but it didn't put him off. He just carried on.
Yeah, he was. Do you know what? When the team got announced, I got it near enough bang on, didn't I? Bar Harvey Elliott, that's that. It was good to see Nico playing right back. He looked a lot stronger, didn't he, than when he played the other day, playing left back. You can see he's more natural. He had 87% pass succession there. He was decent, wasn't he? And he probably wouldn't have come off if it weren't such a tight game.
True.
Jürgen only made 3 subs, which was like 3. It was obviously Trent, Diox, and Keita. So he just brought his first teamers on, and which is what we needed. But Nico didn't do himself any harm either, did he?
Absolutely not. You can see he looks more confident on that side. And you'd probably say the same for anyone. You put a right-footed player out at left back or left mid or whatever. They're going to get dispossessed because more times than not, they're going to try and put inside, and the defender's going to know that's happening. So, he did really well.
Yeah, and just a little mention for Robbo. That goal is world class. It's more than just a header, isn't it? Like when he first scored it, I was like, wow. And then the more and more I've watched it back, and you've had all the different angles, how far away he was to get that height and dip on a header.
And a curl. Phenomenal from a fullback.
It's mad that we got him from a relegated club. Absolutely mad. And they got Kevin Stewart in exchange. Like
they've had the pants pulled down there, haven't they?
Yeah, I couldn't. You still can't believe it now. What's Kevin Stewart even doing? I don't even think he's that whole anymore. If he is, he's not doing much.
No, he's not. He's not making a name for himself wherever he is he? Because you don't hear from him.
No, not at all. Fabinho as well. Against Burnley, he is the best in the world in that position, isn't he? 92% of his passes were successful. Got the assist for Robbo with that pass was picked up.
Perfect, yeah, perfect. And he was everywhere. He really is everywhere. They call him Gadget, don't they? Or something. Go Gadget. Yeah. And yeah, wherever the ball is, he just seems to be there. And I don't think he's been appreciated in the past as much for his distribution, and his assists and stuff, because people just concentrate on his defensive side of the game and his breaking up play. But going forward as well, he's got real quality.
He is. He's unbelievable. It's hard. I'm excited to see the midfield for the next 3 games, to be honest, because Fabinho is going to be nailed on till the end of the season now with Henderson being injured. But then it's like he's just going to experiment, isn't it, with the rest of them. But what's your thoughts on Elliott? Because there's 3 games left and he's only got 2 appearances, so he needs to get minutes in the next 3 games, which are Arsenal, Chelsea, and Newcastle. It's just a bit mad.
Yeah, they're not games you'd expect your kids to be certainly not starting anyway. And they're the games that you're looking at. We might be chasing the game for the points, and he's not the player that you bring on for that. As good as he is, he's not like an established first teamer that you bring on to try and win you the game.
And
so he's got a bit of a mountain to climb, to be honest with you, hasn't he, to get that 5 appearances.
Yeah, definitely. It's just I can't understand why in lesser games like Brighton and stuff he didn't come on, because he might
he only made 3 subs, did he, against Burnley?
Yeah. Imagine how demoralising it must be, though, for Elliot if he doesn't. I mean, obviously, Jurgen knows how to treat players, and I'm not one to say he doesn't. And I'm not one to go against what he's saying, but he's been in the first team set up with Nico and Curtis pretty much all season now, hasn't he? And obviously Curtis
He's been in and around, hasn't he?
Yeah. So whenever he's come in, he's been in the first team. He's played for academy games. He trains with the first team. And imagine how demoralising that must be for him, knowing that Jones and Nico are going to get a medal and he isn't, even though he's been the same as them. Ultimately, they've only got experiences now. Yeah, Elliot's only 17, Jones is 19, and Nico is 19 as well.
Yeah, so he's probably been spoken to by Klopp about it, saying, "Look, you're almost there," or whatever. I don't know. I can understand that he'd probably be, as you say, I think demoralised is probably a good word, but I'm guessing that Klopp's man management will probably reassure him.
Unless he is just gonna come on, unless he, and then that it's one of them, isn't it? Because he could come on them 3 games and he could think I've been saved for 3 of the big games, and then it could give him that ego boost. But then if he doesn't get minutes, if we're chasing games,
if he's not getting on against Burnley when we're looking for the win, you know what I mean? What's his chances against Arsenal and Chelsea? No disrespect to Burnley because they've been great, but they're not Chelsea and Arsenal, are they, at the end of the day?
Just want to get your verdict on the Court of Arbitration for Sport verdict on City, because now we've won the league, we're sound, but in terms of European places, it would have been good to see Wolves and that maybe getting Champions League, Sheffield United in the Europa League. I know it would have pretty much guaranteed United getting Champions League football. It would have been nice to have seen City just be screwed over early on those be given cups that we should have won anyway. But what's your opinion on it? I'll let you have an opinion before I get going. But
first and foremost, money talks, and that is, for me, that's absolutely whether they've paid them off or whether they've just managed to hire their most expensive, best lawyers to find the loopholes. I've heard one of the reasons was something to do with it being too old.
5
years,
years,
right?
Yeah.
That's when they're investigating them for. So how can you investigate them for something during a period and then have it overturned because the evidence from that period is too old?
Crazy, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that bit doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know the ins and outs of what they've spent and bought and whatever, but it looks like they've spent more than they're getting in.
I seen something, I can't find it now. I'll whack up on the screen about one of the people who was involved in it has got shares. One of the people who was involved in the decisions got shares with Abu Dhabi or Emirates or something, which is just bizarre. I'm sure, I can't even remember where I'll try and find it while we're speaking. But I see it was something that he's got shares in it. Oh, where it is. It turns out that the CAS arbitration board was Andrew McDougall, a Paris-based QC whose firm White & Case are listed on the Legal 500 website as having Etihad Airways and a few Abu Dhabi government-owned businesses as clients.
So that's a conflict of interest right there, isn't it? He should not have been on that panel.
Money talks, really, and it's sad. It's sad in the whole grand scheme of things, really, when you see teams like Bury and that have went bust as a club, and then
City, like a couple of miles away from Bury, innit?
Yeah, literally a couple of miles, and then you've got them paying off millions of pounds to not be banned from the Champions League, and I only really want them to be banned to see if Pep stayed. Like, I'm hoping he goes back to Barca just because I'm fed up of seeing him in the little baldy egghead in the league. But, it's just, it's mad. It just shows the oil money's won really, and
yeah, I mean, I was shocked
football.
by it, but not surprised at all.
Yeah, I think everyone wasn't surprised at all with it. It was just more like it shows that the oil money's won
Yeah,
football, and it's in terms of when you look at like the World Cup bids, when you look at like they've got the teams they've took over. I mean, the Manchester City brand, if you have a look into it, they're owned by something called City Football Group, which is obviously the Dubai Prince's business, and they own major teams. So
they've
many
got
teams.
haven't they? And
In any little small league you can think of, they've got a team.
right,
They've got teams everywhere, and it's just all like similar badges and stuff. I imagine being a football fan, someone coming to Liverpool, and then there being like different teams like Liverpool of Africa FC and stuff like that, and Liverpool of this and Liverpool of that, and it's just they've just made it into like
the franchise, isn't it?
yeah, they've made the club a franchise, and it's just like wow. Imagine if that was done to Liverpool, and it just does me head in really, and it is just ruining football. And people are saying, oh, it's happened in France for years because France is such a bad league, and PSG just milk it because of the money, and that's true. But it's hit home a little bit more now, hasn't it? When it's come to the Premier League, and you're just thinking like, I just don't understand how money can do that in football. I understand money talks, but then it's just a bit like. Why haven't other football teams surely why didn't they be in line to sue now? If say for example United finished fifth, which would be hysterical now because they wouldn't be able to get Champions League football. It'd be the best thing that can happen this season post Liverpool winning the league. However, wouldn't United have the lawyers themselves because United are one of the richest clubs in the world, and they'd have the incentive of this is Manchester City who've done this to us. Why couldn't United get involved and then go to try and sue Man City because they've ultimately going to be losing out on so much money by not playing in the Champions League and potentially could lose the best players?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I guess they probably have got lawyers there, and if they think it's worth it, then absolutely they'll go for it. But I don't know how it would be overturned again the other way.
The UEFA can appeal it, can't they? They can appeal it back. Where City have appealed the decision, the UEFA can then appeal it back.
Okay. Well,
But
the situation in Spain.
As long as it drags out, they can still play in the Champions League. And if anything, now I feel like it's going to give City the incentive to be like, right, we can go and win the Champions League now. Like they've tried to get us banned from the competition. We're going to go. Not only are we going to play it next year, we're going to go and win it. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't surprise me if City won the Champions League at all.
I don't know. It gives them extra games to play, so they won't be as focused on the league next year, which is one small thing to come out of it. But you're getting back to what you were saying before about like Paris in France. You know the situation in Spain. Real Madrid got bailed out by the king years ago, didn't they?
Real Madrid are constantly getting draft like money.
He bought their training ground for so many €100 million and give them it back. They can also, this is going back a couple of years, I'm sure it's still the same now, all the Spanish teams negotiate their own TV rights. So, where in England, the money gets split like in a sort of fair, even way between all the teams.
Yeah, it's like a pot.
Yeah, Barcelona and Real Madrid negotiate their own and get so much more than all the other clubs. That was the case a couple of years ago. I'm pretty sure it's still the same. I don't know if anyone can correct me on that or whatever, but they negotiate their own TV rights.
That's mad.
Which gives them an extra financial advantage.
People say like about Liverpool, that would if that come into
And that would suit us.
in England, I don't think we would get as much TV coverage as like United and that, because although people say we're the media love child, we're really not. We're hated pretty much by most people anyway.
I think our games would get one of the highest broadcaster numbers. I think that situation would suit us, the club, but I don't think I'd like to see it. I want all the teams to get a fair crack.
Yeah, because if they didn't get a fair crack, then teams like Bournemouth couldn't pay us silly money for big Dominic Solanke.
The big man got a goal, didn't he?
He got 2.
Oh, he got 2?
Yeah, Brendan Rodgers just fell apart. At Leicester. They're probably not going to even go to Champions League football now, but Dominic, they were getting beat. They were winning Bournemouth 1-0. Leicester got beat 4-1. I was just like, wow, what's that? Dominic Solanke got 2. I was like, it was just the weirdest match you'll ever watch, that game. I hope he do stay up for me.
As well. You scored 4 at the weekend.
It
wasn't for them.
Mikel Antonio.
That's the fella, yeah.
All the bottom 3 or bottom whatever it is are doing well. Villa won as well. Southampton got the draw against United yesterday, which was a big result for them. It's mad, really, to be honest. It's quite exciting down at the bottom. It's quite exciting to watch as well. But yeah, we're going to face a mid-table team tomorrow. It's mad, isn't it? Thinking about like Arsenal genuinely are a mid-table team now,
and it's crazy because they're like
so consistent.
So they were the team to beat. If you can get a result against Arsenal, home or away, in the past, you'd be like, we've done all right.
I hate them. When he was in the Highbury and they had Thierry Henry and they had that maroon coloured kit.
Oh, yeah.
That season. Oh, I hated them.
Yeah, Thierry Henry was just on fire, wasn't he? They had Robert Perez, Dennis Bergkamp still there, then they had just a team.
So, yeah. They just added them. They had Vieira.
Yeah. Just
Fabregas.
They had just crazy players, and looking at them now, they've got David Luiz playing for them. You just think Thierry Henry, Tony Adams. Tony Adams must be looking at that team thinking, "I just give up with football." To be honest with you, because he's the worst defender I think I've ever seen.
He is. He really is. Looking forward to that game. Well, touching on Arsenal though, it's going to be quite an interesting game, really, isn't it? Because when you look at it, if they do not qualify for the Europa League, even the Europa League this year, and they finish like 8th where they are, will Aubameyang stay, not play Europe? Will he? No. Will Lacazette? Will he? Will Pepe? Will he? Do you know what I mean? That's their whole team.
They'll lose the spine of the team.
Danny Ceballos will probably go back to Real Madrid. I think he's only on loan, and he's not going to stay and play not in Europe when his parent club's Real Madrid. Even the keeper, to be fair, Bernard Leno, he could probably go to Spain and play in the Champions League or play in the Europa League, like Sevilla or something, if he wants it.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be quite an interesting game.
Yeah. And I guess some of them might have that in their contracts, mightn't they? Because I know players have that sort of stuff wrote in. Like a relegation release clause, or that sort of thing, where if they don't get in the Champions League, especially for the top clubs, if you don't get to the Champions League, you have to accept an offer of X amount for me.
They've only won 12 times this season, 35 games.
That's for a team like Arsenal, that's not enough.
And people, I'm saying about Aubameyang, they've scored 51 goals, and they're all from more or less him, aren't they? And it goes to show like how much they've declined. But I'm excited, to be honest with you. Like, last time we played Arsenal, was at the start of the season, wasn't it? Well, it was one of the first home games.
Yeah.
And because I went with one of my mates, and I remember going to the game, and every time we play Arsenal, I always have a little bit of a nervous feeling. Just because of how much I used to hate playing against them when we were younger, and like when I was younger and watching them, they had them teams like the Henrys, not the Invincibles. They were world class, and I remember going to that game and not feeling it. And it was like one of the first times I've ever been like, oh, it's only Arsenal. And I'm the same now. Tomorrow I'm just going to be sat there like, they're no better than Burnley, these.
Yeah.
And the defences, it's mouthwatering to think. Mo Salah could probably become number one in the Golden Boot race alone, play after playing against.
You can have a good go at them. It's you can have a good go at them. All of them can. It's so strange, like you say. It's so weird to say, oh, it's only Arsenal. Because I think that's because of the scars that Arsenal team had left on us.
Yeah.
And they're just so bad now. And I've got a mate who's a Spurs fan who actually listens to this still. So shout out Graham. He'll be loving this because he hates Arsenal.
To be fair, Tottenham fans are sound. When I was in Madrid, I'm not one who's usually got on with Cockneys. I've got a few friends who are from London, who are the sound. But in terms of football fans, I just don't like Cockneys as football fans because we always get a bad reputation when in truth they're a hell of a lot worse than us. But yeah, so when I was going to Madrid, I was like thinking, it might be a bit of murder here, close the Cockneys, and I was excited for it, but I was just a bit like, wow, it's just mad. I just want to enjoy myself and watch the Champions League.
It's a bit of a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, but then do you know what, Steve? Right? They were some of the nicest people I've come across, and I think every single Liverpool fan you'd ask who went over to Madrid would say the same. They were absolutely spot on, and even when we won the Champions League, they were walking past, shaking our hands, saying "Fair play, you're unbelievable. You're an unbelievable team," and I think they just appreciated how good and how passionate we was because, I mean, everyone's seen the videos from the where Webster was on and stuff, and I can't even remember what it was called. That was like the Plaza Mayor 2 or something stupid. To be honest, when you were there, it just looked like he was just in like a courtyard of a block of flats. Quite mad, because literally it was a main road, and everyone was obviously jumping out the taxis there, and there was a supermarket across the road, and it was unbelievable. But Tottenham fans, honestly, because they were so sound, it added to the weekend because it was boss to see the Spanish police fuming that there was no trouble because they had. Like after we'd won it, people were jumping on bus stops, like by they were like by the square where Webster played. Like obviously nothing was on, people jumping on bus stops, and like the police all came with the riot shields and stuff. And Tottenham fans were just part of it. Like they weren't honestly.
Yeah, I think the thing with Tottenham fans and our fans, we've never really had that sort of bitter rivalry.
No reason to hate them. Absolutely no reason to hate them.
There's no history between the fans, and on top of that, I think they were there to enjoy the day because for a lot of most of them, it's the only time in their lifetime, certainly up to now, that it's happened, and who knows when it happens again. But no disrespect for a club like Tottenham, who were trying to be big, but they're not quite there. So who knows if it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. So I think a lot of them just.
You froze, I think, there, Steve. You started sounding like a robot. I think we've lost them.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. He's back.
Okay, we're back.
But on that note, here we'll look forward to the Arsenal game tomorrow night. One thing that is absolutely mad is they've only got 38% shot accuracy, you know. Yeah, I'm a front three with Aubameyang, Pepe, and Lacazette. You'd think I'd have a better shot accuracy than 38%. Sorry, they've had 383 shots, only 144 of them are on target.
Pretty disappointing.
All season, they've only created 45 big chances. They've only had 2 pens though. They're a team like us who don't really seem to get many penalties. But all the stats are just abysmal. The cross accuracy, right? They've had 653 crosses, and only 21% of them have been accurate.
Have you seen that to us? I like it.
But yeah, I'm excited really. Our front three going up against their back line. And then I don't think their front three have got a chance against us in our back line. Wow, our cross accuracy is only 20%.
That's what I mean. You hear these stats and you think, oh, that's not very good.
Wow.
But compared to ours, what's our shot accuracy?
39%.
So it's not that much of a difference, is it?
Yeah, but we've got Mo Salah, who if he's not in a good mood, he can contribute about 40 shots to that without going anywhere. We have hit the woodwork 15 times, and we've created 81 big chances where they'd only created 40. So the numbers that matter, we are a lot better at them, and our defense stats are unbelievable. Our discipline. May I add, Arsenal's had 68 yellow cards. We've only had 36. Mm-hmm. We've only had one red card all season. I can't think who that was, though. We got sent off.
Alisson against.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when he handballed the ball, yeah. So we're quite disciplined side, really, when you look into the stats and stuff. We've had 5 penalties scored, which is... I wish we got more of them, to be honest. People say Liverpool's a referee favourite. Did you see Gabriel just dive?
No.
Oh my God! So do you know the game against United where Bruno Fernandes got the pen? That definitely was not a penalty.
Oh, where he stood on their foot.
Yeah. So Jack Grealish literally got knocked in the ankle the other day, and he dived like he was part of Swan Lake or something. He just went like that onto the floor, and he just took the absolute piss out of the referee, really. And
he's got massive legs and well, by the way, he's seen the size of his legs.
Yeah, he's world class, you know. I forgot. I asked the other week, didn't I? Would you have him at the club? And I like him, mate. I do like him, which is mad because I'm not usually into Brummels, but I like him. He's sound as a footy player, to be honest. And yeah, it could be our 560th win tomorrow.
560th win in the Premier League.
Yeah. Or it could be our 250th loss.
We won't talk about that, though. That's not happening.
Why do you not think we'll win?
The loss. I think we're going to win. We're not going to lose. We're not going to lose again this season.
I hope not. Alisson could get our 410th clean sheet as well, which in the Premier League era, I think he's due a clean sheet, long overdue in his race for the Golden Glove. I'm not quite sure. I think he's still top, isn't he? Because has Dean Henderson conceded?
I can't remember. There was 1 or 2 games between them, wasn't there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if Sheffield United conceded or kept the clean sheet.
You should be able to check that, aren't you?
Can't. I'm still even aware. Just when you go on a table, just like the Premier League and Premier League 2, it doesn't really go into players.
I have to keep moving around because the Wi-Fi, I think, has got a bit dodgy.
Alisson this year. Where's the clean sheet? Oh.
I'm sure you can find the graphics to throw on in a bit anyway.
Yeah, I'll be able to throw it on. He is on for it, I know that. He is on for the Golden Glove. He's had, I'm doing here, 13 clean sheets he's had this season. So it'll be his 14th. Yeah, I think that put him 2 ahead of Dean Henderson again if he got one tomorrow. I can't see it though, you know.
You not see us keeping clean sheets till the end? That's all.
I don't care as long as we get the record, to be honest. I really couldn't care, but I've just got this feeling that we're not going to, because we're just a bit shaky, which is mad. Like Carragher said it, didn't he, on Sky, that the only person who's come back from the lockdown and still looks the same is Van Dijk. Like, the whole defence looks a bit shaky.
They just took the foot off the gas, basically. And it's frustrating, but on the other hand, it's understandable. They've won the league, they've done it. So
that's what I was thinking. Like, is it more they weren't going to take the foot off the gas till they'd won the league, and they tried for 2 years, and they literally have been relentless for 2 years, haven't they? The whole squad, it has been the same squad. We bar Minamino and Adrian.
Yeah, so you can afford them a little drop off at the end, can't you?
Yeah, but I don't like to see it.
No.
We're getting greedy. We used to see us lose all the time under Rodgers and that, and now we're getting a bit annoyed when players have a little bit of dip in form. But rightfully so, they can take the foot off the gas. Obviously, they're all world class. They're all probably going to be ready to go again for next year. They probably are treating it as a pre-season, and rightfully so. Like, what else have we got to play for this year? We literally have nothing else to play for, just a record.
Personal accolades, isn't it? And, like Golden Gloves, Golden Boot and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think they do want the point record, because I want people to say, like, I think Klopp wants people to say in the 2019-20 season, Liverpool won the Premier League with a record points total. Like, I think he wants that. But just touching on Klopp, a lot of people have been speaking about him and his future in recent days, which is understandable, really. He's not going anywhere, for anyone listening who's just had an heart attack. He's not going anywhere, but a lot of people have been discussing about his future post-Liverpool and bringing up his old interviews when he signed his contract and stuff. And I think people have just become hit with realisation in the sense of he will leave us one day.
Yeah.
And you see all videos. Remember when Shankly retired from Liverpool? And you see videos of the kids in the street, like, shocked, going, "Are you messing?" And like, I think they'll be replicated when Alisson goes. Not Alisson, Jürgen goes. Thinking Alisson, because he's up on my screen, get away. But yeah, when Jürgen goes, and it'll be a proper sad day when he actually does decide to depart, and it's very well spoken of by.
I think he'll go in a good way as well. Like, do you remember how the Dortmund fans give him the send off? And not many managers get that, because 9 times out of 10, it looks like they're not good enough, so they're just shipped out the door. And the fans have got short memories. No matter how good they've been seasons before, you're only as good as your last game. Yeah,
it's like when Rafa went, you knew it was the time. The time was right, and he's still obviously very well loved. Yeah, he's probably the only person who could probably go to Chelsea and still be loved. I mean, people are starting to forgive Torres now, but with Jürgen, the fact that you probably know he's not going to manage club football again. If he does, maybe Mainz, because he did say he wants to move back to Mainz when he retires. But it's probably looking like he'll probably manage Germany. There's a very reliable Bayern Munich journalist on Twitter who said that the German national team want Klopp, and Klopp wants the German national team, but only at the end of his contract. So it's looking like he will see his contract out to 2024, which is more like we just need. I expect he would have been ours then for 9 years, the longest he's ever been at a club. He is the best manager in the world, and to spend his heyday at Liverpool is an honour. Really, to have him there, it's an honour for him to be our manager, and we just got to enjoy the next 4 years, really, haven't we? Like, even, do you know what? Even if we didn't win anything for the next 4 years, he's made everyone's life unbelievable this year.
He's done what he said he would do. Was it his first press interview where he said, "I'm going to turn doubters into believers."
Yeah, and he said, "If I sit here in 4 years from now with no silverware, then you can judge me."
No,
and 5 years from then, 5 years from then, he's won the Premier League, the Champions League, the Club World Cup, and the Super Cup.
And we're all believers.
Yeah.
So whatever he does now, you just can't have anything but good things to say about him. Unless he leaves us for like United or Chelsea, then
I don't think he ever. He turned down United.
That's never going to happen.
Well, before he come to Liverpool, United offered him the managerial role, and his wife said to him it doesn't feel right, and he listened to her. And then when he come to Liverpool, he said that it felt right, and his wife felt it was right. And then after we won the Champions League last year, I think it was, he said he was wrong, and he said something along the lines of it being perfect, but it was in a lot more. It was more Klopp-esque, where he describes things in exquisite detail. Basically said how perfect Liverpool is for him and his family, and you can see he loves it. I absolutely adore the city. I think he's probably going to be someone of where you see Kenny Dalglish still going to the games when he's retired and stuff. I think you will see Jurgen still supporting Liverpool, and I just hope he gets on social media. To be honest, I think he'd be funny.
Did you see what he done for that Akinfenwa from Wickham? He was buzzing. He's a massive red, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a massive red. I didn't watch the game.
No, I didn't see.
I Klopp done an interview on his press conference today, and they asked him about it, and he said when he was watching the game, he was watching it in support of Ben Woodburn, obviously. Ben Woodburn's at Oxford. He said, but he was made up, and he said Akinfenwa can come on the parade, hasn't he? Akinfenwa's going to be on the bus with the players.
No way.
He said he's definitely invited to the parade for sure. But good on him, I was looking through Akinfenwa's teams he's played for like the past few years. He was unemployed when after his last game when Wimbledon didn't offer him a new deal. He went down to Wickham, and he's done the impossible. I'm sure when he joined them, they were like League Two, and now they're in the Championship. I think he's 38 now, Akinfenwa, so I think he'll probably stay there for one more year, do a season in the Championship, and then go and retire and just be a Liverpool fan by the looks of it. Be beast mode. I love him.
I like him. He's so funny. He's such a good guy. You see him on social medias, and you see him on Soccer AM, and
he's just funny. You can imagine being a boss to be around. He's not going to have a bad career after football either. He'll be on all sports TV shows. He's likable by everyone, isn't he? He's a funny person, and he says it how it is. I proper like him. I think he's hysterical. Just before we touch on opinions and after the results on tomorrow's game, just want to touch on something we discovered the other day. Dejan Lovren.
He says with tears in his eyes,
getting a new deal.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. I'll let you.
I'm lost for words. I really am lost for words. Like,
unless he's literally staying just for Mo Salah's morale, that's all I can think of that Salah being useful for to this team, because he's useless. I don't want him. I'd honestly rather not have him and play Sepp Vandenberg, who's probably worse because he's still a kid and developing. But
I think Lovren's saving grace is Klopp, the way Klopp is. Like, he won't go and buy just for the sake of it. He'll only buy the right player, and if the right player that he wants is not available right now to replace Lovren, then you can kind of understand why he's getting the new deal. But on the other hand, as a fan, you're looking at it going, really?
Well, Fabinho could replace him, and Henderson could drop back. I'd go if there's injuries. Do you know what I mean? We've got Fabinho who can play there, and he does a job there. Like,
he's not set to boost himself. You know what I mean? I'll go throw the number 6 on.
Joe Gomez. Obviously, if Trent got injured, Gomez can play right back, or Nico is there. Gomez is quite versatile. I think Gomez probably do a job at left back as well, because he's quite pacey, and a fullback's a fullback ultimately.
I don't think he wants too many square pegs in round holes, does he? He wants people playing in the best positions. So you shouldn't sacrifice a player because he can play in a different position, I guess, obviously.
Yeah.
I would say Fabinho is probably better than Lovren at centre-back, but Fabinho is better than anyone else in the world in his preferred position, so I wouldn't take him away from there.
But I literally, the minute I seen the news, I just seen it and was just like, oh.
I'm going to have to text Steve.
I was absolutely devastated, to be honest with you. I was properly heartbroken. Properly heartbroken. Did you see as well the start of next season's title defence? Liverpool could have 21,000 fans in Anfield.
Just 21,000? Have they just introduce them slowly?
All I can imagine is it's going to be a gap in between every seat, essentially.
Imagine when we score. How many stewards are they going to have to stop people just jumping all over each other when we score?
We'll probably have to wear masks as well, won't we?
For me, it's all or not. And with the fans, either let them all in or don't let any in. Because how can you govern it?
21,000 will be right. I'm going to divide opinion here now, probably so people listening. But 21,000 people being allowed inside Anfield is probably season ticket holders. Roughly, I'd say. Maybe for them to say, for it to be such an exact number, I do think it probably is how many season ticket holders we've got. If it's more season ticket holders, then it poses the question of how is it decided.
What about away fans? If he says anything about that?
I think away fans can just... they shouldn't even be considered.
No, they shouldn't be travelling. They can leg it, can't they?
Yeah, they shouldn't be travelling, you know. Well, you can wear the masks now. Bojo said, we got to wear a mask everywhere you go. 16 weeks too late. But, you know, yeah, so if it's purely season ticket holders, I am all for it. All for it. Purely because now, if my brother, for example, is listening, he'd be fuming because he has a members card which has credits for every single game, every single season. He has not missed a game for years and years and years, and he is just as much as a loyal fan as season ticket holders. Yeah. And quite a few season ticket holders use members cards and sell the season tickets, whatever. But I'm not bothered about that because it helps me get tickets as well. But 21,000 if just being season ticket holders, more than likely, because of travel restrictions and stuff like that. It will just be local, like a local support, and it'll be boss to see. It will be absolutely unbelievable to see 21,000 Scousers in that stadium just having it large. Like, you know,
how many season ticket holders though for them out of town?
Yeah, there's a fair few. There is a fair few. But then it's the age-old question of a lot of our fans who fly over and stuff like that, and from Ireland, and now how can they get over? Because I don't think they'll be wanting to fly and stuff now. So they probably would maybe sell it to like one of the Scouts mates, say, "Oh, you go for a few games and that." But it'll be boss because I think the atmosphere will be world class, though. You know, because 21,000 fans would all have the same mindset of we need to make as much noise as we do with 50,000 fans. So they're going to be, and more at the core, that's probably going to be more Scousers than anything else. And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against out of town fans. I have stuff against the out of town fans who come and sit and moan and slag all the players off for 90 minutes. Some of the people who I've sat next to this season, oh my God. Oh, like
any fans who do that.
Yeah, there's so many, and that's what they're the ones. Exactly, and they're the ones who like that's what I mean. This is what I'm getting at with my point. It means fans like that who come in for just for the day out, so to speak, and they don't come like week in week out, and because they can't come and each for their own reasons, and I'm not slagging them off, but there'll be the people who come and moan is what I'm getting at, and that's what I don't like. I don't like people who moan. Do you know what I mean? Premier League champions, we've been unbelievable all season. Like, I've been at a game where Mo Salah scored and he's give the ball away like the next touch he's had, and this fella in front of me sat and slagged them off, and you're just like, are you mad? Like, you just know 21,000 people, the core of it's going to be Scousers all ready to party because we've been locked in for so long, and you just know it's going to be boss. And just to see fans back at football, it'll be boss because I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of this crowd noise.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely sick and tired of it.
If I'm watching a match now where I can, I'll just switch it over to the channel with no crowd noise. I mean, that was initially just so I could hear the players talking, because I quite like hearing them like shouting to each other, especially Virgil.
Yeah.
Especially Virgil, man, like he's the absolute fellow when he's on the pitch, isn't he?
Well, I don't know about you. I wish we could just switch the commentators off instead.
Yeah. I've watched matches in, Arabic and all them sort of channels and that, and you just know they're talking crap anyway, so it doesn't really matter what language they're talking in.
Clive Tilsley's been removed as number one commentator from ITV, which is mad. He's probably the best commentator out there, Clive Tilsley. They haven't announced it yet. But I always think back to his commentary for the Istanbul final on ITV. How it was like, hello, hello, here we go. He's probably is the best commentator out there, and he's just been, I don't know who he's been replaced with, which is just, it's mad. Like ITV Sports had a respect for me. Like I from when I was watching it, like the matches on ITV, I had a lot of respect because they had a decent commentator, and we didn't have Mark Manningham, who's an ex-Red who his absolute utmost best to slag us off. But anyway, moving on to Sunday then before we go, what score do you reckon?
3-2 to us.
I'd ask you your team selection, but it's pretty much going to be full strength, isn't it?
Full strength, yeah. Barring any injuries, I would go the 11 that you'd expect. I'd have Nico on the bench. I'd have Curtis on the bench. Midfield, Henderson's out, isn't he? So I would say it'd be Fabinho, Keita, and Gini. I reckon for the midfield three, the rest as expected.
That's one thing I'll disagree with. I think the Ox will play because it's Arsenal.
See, I think he won't because it's Arsenal. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see, won't we?
I'm going to go with 3-1.
Yeah. Can see them scoring, but can also see us putting a few past them. Like,
I can see Mo Salah getting an hat-trick.
Be nice. He must have known in that Burnley game that I had money on him for first goal. Yeah, I was like, come on!
I just hope it hasn't knocked his confidence, because when he has games like that, it does knock him sometimes, and I just hope
I hope not.
Because he's been world class. But anyway, yeah, nice one for coming on, as always, Steve. Hopefully next time we speak as well, we're back on winning ways and not on the dull, boring 1-1 Sean Dyches. I did say though about that game, we playing Sean Dyche, so
I know.
Yeah, did improve it. But yeah, nice one for coming on as always, Steve.
I like it easy. See you later.